my name is Tatiana SALIBA. I'm a third-year medical student in the Lebanese University in Lebanon. An interesting fact about me is that I undertook the entrance exam 6 times before getting in medical school, as I believe there's no failure as far as you can get up and retry. And my hobbies are basically singing, music, and painting. As a medical student who is in the early years of learning, I think the biggest challenge to face in the COVID-19 pandemic was online classes. Learning visual things such as anatomy or medical semiology was quite hard. But thanks to technology, technology was helpful. Programs such as Complete Anatomy or any other 3D medical virtual app helps us to dissect a human body from the comfort of the desktop. But auscultating otherwise was quite challenging, as only YouTube videos were provided. So we had to get creative, and I used my family as fake patients and tried to mimic what the video told me to do on them. In my opinion, a team works perfectly when, 1, you involve everyone in the group, and by this point I mean that everyone has an opinion and everyone has a voice in the decision-making process. And second, when you bring everyone's capacity to the benefit of the group, and by this point I mean that you design tasks based on everyone's experience and knowledge so they can bring the best out of them. For instance, when I was a second-year medical student doing observant rotations in the hospital, the chief doctor always held meeting with the students, and she invited us to attend, and I was quite expecting just to observe how this meeting was held, but surprisingly she asked us questions that fit our knowledge, even though our knowledge is very little compared to other older students. And I think this is the most motivating factor that I felt part of this team, even though it was temporary. In this kind of scenario, I think the best thing to do is to stay calm and to understand everyone's point of view. For the patient, she is a person with a weak spot. She is desperately seeking medical care, and so she's desperately obliged to trust strangers. She's trusting us. So I think it's wrong to point out a mistake such as this one in front of the patient, as it would psychologically affect her into having untrusty feeling and fear. So I would comfort the patient and apologize, and I'd rather speak with the resident in a private room. In order to appease the mood and bring out some positivity, I would acknowledge the mistake, and I would tell the resident that he has every right to be mad because it's an unforgivable one. But I would not be afraid of disagreeing with him and telling him that I did not do that. And I would offer my help in the investigation process, so he would know that so he could trust me. I would suggest also to hold up a meeting with other group members in order to make them all acknowledge how much important this mistake was, and especially in the COVID-19 pandemic. So the risk of repeating the same mistake 2 times would decrease a lot. So I will leave you for now with this quote that I think bridges the part 3 and 4. And to hopefully see you in the finale.